Welcome back to Seahawks Coast to Coast. I am Joe Stevens. To the left of me or right, whichever way you're watching this, my left, your right, is Zach Talks Hawks. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm really pumped to be here. We have a lot to talk about today with the schedule release.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of one of the most overblown days of all time when it comes to the NFL. I think obviously we knew the opponents already. We knew one game. We knew week 18 was going to be the 49ers. We didn't know whether it was going to be on the road or at home because your last game of the season is if you're the second place team in the division, you play the third place team. If you're the first place team, you play the fourth place team. I think that's how it is. It definitely is. But yeah. Or is it first place, third? I don't know. Regardless, we knew that we were playing the 49ers. So, but other than that, why don't I'm just going to pull it up here. Pull up the schedule. We got it right here. Anything stand out to you that you like / don't like?
I love the bye week. You know, you always hope that you don't get stuck with that week 5 bye. Anything on top of that is icing on the cake. So I really, really enjoy the week 8 bye. I'm not. I already did my ranting about it on X. So
I didn't see it.
So out of all the Monday night games, all of them, every single Monday night game has multiple ways to view the Monday night game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Most of them are on cable, except for one.
Yeah, it's ours.
And it's ours. And it's on ESPN Plus. And oh man, that gets me so mad. And just like, why not only I'm going to try really hard not to be mad. Not only is the only Seahawk Monday night football game behind a paywall, but if you think about it in terms of like capitalism, you have the Seahawks and the Texans, which are which I would argue are two pretty niche teams. It's not like, you know, the Eagles and the Chiefs or like the Cowboys and I don't know, whoever, right?
Cowboys, Packers.
Yeah, exactly. You would think that if you have a paywall game, you're going to put the most popular teams in the NFL behind that paywall.
Nah, because I think people would be pissed.
Oh.
I don't know. I have ESPN Plus. Obviously, I have every subscription because I'm an idiot, and I'm like, oh, it's only $10 a month. Oh, that's only $10 a month. Oh, that's only $13.99 a month, and I pay them all, and I'm a dumbass, and I have cable. So on top of that, I don't know. I guess that wasn't a big deal to me. The number one thing that stuck out to me is we have no international games, and I am so hyped about that. I freaking hate them. I thought we were gonna have one. I don't know. I think they already announced them. I tried to like not pay attention at all to any of the leaks before 5 o'clock because I just kind of wanted to be like, I want to see it all. You know, it's like Christmas. You know, I don't want any presents early. I just want to see them all at the same time. I was so happy we don't. That's one thing I get irritated about is, okay, we played that game at 6 a.m. our time, and I'm saying our time as in the Seahawks time. Okay, the Seahawks time, which is Pacific, 6 a.m. It is 3 p.m. in Germany. You couldn't scoot that back to 5 or 6 to have it be a reasonable 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. start for people that live where the Seahawks are located. I wake up early every day, and even though I would normally wake up at like 7 on Sunday, waking up at 5:30 isn't that big of a deal. But it's just the fact that you have to, and then we lose to the Buccaneers. Yeah, I just wasn't a fan. Sorry.
No, I agree 100%. So, and I'm not even in that time zone.
Chad Schrader, how's it going? Yeah, anything else stick out? Mine is really the fact that there is 16 weeks between our first matchup and last matchup with the 49ers. Kind of sweet, actually.
Yeah, both teams have an opportunity to look very different from first game to last game. I actually pretty much before the bye, this is a pretty nice schedule, and but the hope is starting to bubble up, and I can feel it, and I can realistically see this team being real hot going into their bye. So, real exciting, and ultimately, I think I feel like at least the past few years, there's been a few stretches of games, like 3 weeks, where it's just like, oh man, like that is just,
Giants.
that's just brutal.
Like
on
stretch it. Yeah, on
yeah,
paper.
yeah, and you go, oh man, like that's brutal. And of course, like that plays into both of our opinions about the NFL schedule, right? Like no game is played on paper. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be having these conversations, but we do. And yet I look at the schedule and I'm like, oh, it's pretty, like on paper, it's pretty forgiving, and plenty of opportunities to stumble, but then to bounce back the next week. So I like it.
Well, it's one where like last year, May 14th, last year, we're going, okay. I'm just looking at last year's schedule. We're going, okay, Denver and New England, easy, take care of that. Miami, you're going to have a tough time. All right, Miami was probably the worst team we saw all year last year. Detroit, obviously. New York Giants, they sucked, but we still lost. The Falcons, we thought they were going to be at least decent, with Cousins coming. Bills were good. The other one is the Jets. Week 13 last year, we were like, oh man, the Jets are probably going to be rolling. Well, some of us thought that. I'm not a big Rodgers guy, but a lot of people thought, okay, well, Rodgers is going to kind of kill us, and they sucked. So it's like there's going to be a couple teams on this list right now that we're fearing or taking for granted. The Saints could be that team that we're taking for granted. I don't think so. I think they suck right now. There's no reason for me to say that, but they could prove me wrong. Do you want to go game? You want to go game by game?
Sure.
Win, loss. Okay, you start.
All right. So we open up a home game where the Seahawks fans have now been advised, to Joe Stevens' absolute delight, to not sell your tickets.
I don't really care, dude.
Against the 49ers. And I think Seattle's normally a really good opening week. I got a feeling we're probably going to lose that game.
Well, I didn't, because you said we were going to lose.
You're just going to pick them. You never pick against the Seahawks. This is just going to be. Oh,
no, I'm doing it honestly. I don't do. No, I don't week up pick against the Seahawks. I'm picking the Seahawks every week when it comes. But no, I'll be honest here. I'll be completely honest with you. If I'm being completely honest right now, I'm kind of looking for a pen. But I probably won't find that. So I'm saying the Seahawks win week 1. I think we come out hot. The 49ers, I think, have a more talented roster than we do. But I think there's just that week 1, we're going to come out firing. The 49ers and the Seahawks are both notoriously slow starters when it comes to, starting the season, I guess. But I kind of like this. I like this matchup. We'll see. Maybe Christian McCaffrey's never what he is. Never going to be what he was.
Yeah.
And then they lost a lot on defense. I mean, a lot on defense. They lost Charvarius Ward, who's their linebacker, the Achilles guy, the one that was Greenlaw. They lost Greenlaw. I don't think Hargrave's back. I could be mistaken, but I don't think Hargrave's back. And then there was one, Hufanga, their safety, Hufanga. He's gone too. So we'll see. But I think the 49ers are kind of closer to the Seahawks. I think the 49ers and Seahawks are closer together than the 49ers and the Rams or the Seahawks and the Rams. I think the 49ers and Seahawks are kind of battling out for number 2 all year. So
yeah, I agree.
I got a win. You got a loss. I don't have a pen, but right now we're. You got a pen?
I normally have one like chilling right here, and
normally I have like 10. Actually,
I know. Normally it's a sure bet.
Just wasn't meant to be.
Oh well,
I got crayons over there. I guess crayon will do. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's better than what I got.
All right. The kids' PlayStation
coming in clutch over there. Now I need paper.
Now that you say that, my wife definitely does have a Sharpie over there, but I'm not getting up. You already got up for the crayon.
Now I need paper.
I got paper. I'll get my wife Sharpie.
Okay, you'll get your wife Sharpie. All right, good. Because I'm a mess over here at the moment.
You can tell there's a lot of planning that goes behind Coast to Coast.
Well, this is an absolute banger so far, the last 2 minutes. Let's nice. We'll do J Z. We'll do me 1-0. You're 0-1 at this point. So let's move to week 2. Week 2 is very interesting because of one person, and we have no idea who is playing the most important position for the Steelers. What do you think? Do you think? I'm not going to assume he's there, but I'm also not going to assume he's not there. That's why, because this is just 2 complete different games. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that good anyways. I could see the Seahawks winning it, but also at the same time, I could see them not.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers doesn't move the needle for me at all in this matchup. Seattle historically is a really good traveling team, and going across the country to Pittsburgh, doesn't concern me at all. I think it's a win, whether Rodgers is there or not.
I'm going win too. I don't want to. Looking at it on paper, when I start writing the record out, I'm like, man, that's a 2-0 doesn't look as realistic as 1-1 does. But I'll go win too. Week 3, there's no reason for me to pick against the Seahawks here. That's a win at home against the Saints.
I agree.
Okay. I'm at 3-0, so.
It's a very easy schedule on paper before the bye. Like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you're ripping 6 wins before the bye. Like seriously, just on paper alone, which is exactly what we're doing.
Okay. This is a tough one. On the road in Arizona, the Seahawks always win. There might be injuries. Might be a lot of injuries because we always get hurt there, but also we always win there. So got 4-0 for me. The Seahawks, I think they've started 4-0 twice in the franchise history. So it'd be a third time. This week 5 is where I have them dropping their first game.
Okay.
It's something about it's a game that they should win at home. They don't always win games that they should win at home. I don't.
I have I I actually I have them winning against Arizona.
Mhm.
And then I do have them beating the Bucks because of the extra rest that they get from that Thursday night game.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but how about we're going all the way to Duval and we're gonna play the Jaguars. With Duval County as head coach.
You do that so good. It's just so good.
I think we drop it.
I think we win. I don't have a lot
Okay.
of faith in Trevor Lawrence.
I think eventually he has to be really good.
He doesn't have to.
he was the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck.
What's
I
Andrew
don't-
Luck doing?
Selling real estate or something.
Mm.
No, he's an architect. He's an
No.
architect.
No, he's the GM of Stanford right now.
I think he's also an architect.
Oh, well, cool.
I don't know. That also has to do with the team. Yeah, I guess kind of like the Jaguars. I don't know. I have them beating Houston at home, Week 7, Monday Night Football, right before the bye.
I'm glad it's on ESPN Plus. I have them losing.
You're not gonna buy ESPN Plus?
I'll do the free trial thing because I stream all the primetime games, so it's fine.
All right, Week 8. I can bet you $1,000 that they're not gonna lose. So
Yep.
My phone's going crazy. Sorry. Coming off the bye, Week 9, Sunday Night Football against our old defensive coordinator and Jaden Daniels. I have them dropping this game.
I actually have them winning this game. Last year showed us that we have a head coach that's really good off a bye. And there were some dramatic changes that needed to happen with this team last year. And they showed up a completely different squad after the bye. And I'm all in. Big stage, Washington Commanders, like put that in my veins. That's probably my upset on the schedule. Seattle beats Washington.
Okay. All right, you're actually ahead of me right now. You're 6-2. I'm 5-3. Week 10, Arizona comes here. I like us. I think we take care of them. This is where we disagree again.
Yep. This is a loss. This is a classic. You beat a team that you shouldn't beat the week before, and then you drop a game against a team you're supposed to beat.
I think that's where I have the Buccaneers loss with me. I have the Buccaneers. Not that you absolutely should beat the Buccaneers, but I think going into the Buccaneers game, I think we're going to be 3-1 or 4-0. Hopefully we're not 0-4. I think we're going to be favored going against Tampa, and I think we're just going to drop one. Likewise, like you have with the Cardinals, I see us being favored going into that game and dropping one. Playing the Lambs, I like them at their house.
Yeah, this stretch for me gets a little bumpy, so it's another loss for me.
Whose house? This one, I got to take the win. I think you're playing a rookie quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's there or here. I think with the roster, they could have just about anybody at quarterback last year, and that team would suck. So I have us.
I agree. Tennessee's O-line is okay, but I think the difference in that game is going to be in the trenches. Seattle is so stacked up front this year. They just need to stay healthy. And of course, being at this point in the season, you never know that. But I think if we're smart about rotating our players, there's a good shot, and you take care of business here.
All right. Week 13, Sam Darnold revenge game. I'm taking Sam in the revenge game, even though the team usually always wins the revenge game. I.e. Russell Wilson. But they didn't leave on bad. Sam didn't leave on bad terms. I'm taking the Seahawks just because of Sam Darnold.
I am taking the Vikings because of Sam Darnold.
I get it. Trust
Yeah.
me, it doesn't make sense. But week 14, I think Michael Penix is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And I think the Seahawks lose this. I think the Falcons win the NFC South.
I agree.
So you're taking the Falcons?
Yes.
Dude, look at you.
This is the bumpy stretch. I said it'd get bumpy.
Wait. Oh my God. I'm so dumb. I had us beating. Okay. I got it. Sorry. I'm just. Wait. Okay. So I have them at 8-5. You have them at 7-6. Okay. Good. Except no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was counting the bye week also on there. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Okay, week 15. There's no reason you lose to the Colts at home. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. 9-5. You have them at 8-6. We both have them over the 7.5 that Vegas put them at, by the way, right now. So this one, Rams Friday night. I think you split the series with the Rams. I think you take it.
I agree.
Really?
Yeah. Short week. This is the 3-game stretch before the end of the year where Seattle's got to put their big boy pants on to make a playoff push. You get it done versus the Rams.
Okay. I think you go back, and I think Bryce Young isn't that good. And I think the Panthers aren't that good. And I think you take care of the Panthers.
I agree.
Okay. 6. Last game of the year. Fighting possibly for the division. Fighting possibly for playoff seeding. And I think we lose against the Santa Clara 49ers.
I agree.
All right. 10-7. Do you want to know what you have their record at?
9-8 probably.
10-7.
10-7. Yeah.
Same as last year.
Yeah.
I have them at 11-6.
Yeah.
Which I cannot believe they went 10-7 last year. Actually, thinking about that, I was like, oh, 10-7 looks good, and 10-7 with this schedule does look good.
You got to remember, we were the only team with 10 wins last year to not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to feel a lot like last year where the path is in their hands with 3 weeks left and it just doesn't fall their way. And I seriously think we can win 10 games again and not make the playoffs.
Well, here's my thing is I don't want them. I'm trying to see a team on the schedule that I think is super dominant, but I don't see one. Like when we played the Bills last year and just got blown out. Or when we played the Packers last year and we're going, oh, this game's going to be awesome. Packers, Seahawks, both of them are hot right now and just get demolished. I don't want to see that. That's what I don't want to see. I want to see a competitive team no matter who.
That could be your Commanders game. Yeah,
I guess. It's just I don't trust them as much as I trust. I don't know. They are good, but there's just something about them I don't really trust, like I would the Buffalo Bills. or Kansas City Chiefs or Cincinnati
Yeah.
Bengals, even though they're better than the Bengals last year. But just something about a team with an AFC team that has a good quarterback, because no team in the NFC does anymore for some reason. So, I mean, Brock Purdy's about to get paid like $80 million a year. So,
True.
But yeah, so you think playoffs or no playoffs?
Mm-mm.
I think we make the playoffs, but I think barely, and I think we lose in the first round. One thing I'm interested is to see if this defense can start faster than we did last year. That's a big thing because the defense started so slow last year. And it's like that Giants game, I think, was a big one. That Giants game kind of, well, it made a difference whether week 18 mattered or not. And it didn't matter because we lost the Giants game. Who else did we lose to last year that we really shouldn't have? Oh, that's about it. But that was really the tipping point, because the other ones, I think we kind of were about where we were. So
Yeah, I think this year that home Cardinals game has the chance to feel that way, where you're boogieing along at the point in the year where more than likely people are going to get hurt, and I like the Cardinals roster. It's just their depth isn't great, and I could see them being fighting an injury bug at that point in the year, and still we lose at home to that team. And
who knows? The Cardinals could be decent. That's the thing. It's like
if they're healthy, I really do think that they are put together pretty well. I think the bottom of the division's a lot closer to each other than it used to be, and we're all kind of chasing the Rams right now.
See, I think the bottom's closer to the Rams than it used to.
Yeah,
the bottom's closer to the top than it used to be.
Yeah.
Because the last couple of years, it was either the Rams were really good or the 49ers are really good. And then before that, it was like the Seahawks are really good. I think I could see all four teams finishing at least 500 or around 500, because you can't finish 500 anymore because we have an odd amount of games. But yeah.
I agree.
Well, you can, because there's ties. So 8-8-1. That's what we're shooting for here. Every team in the division.
That's what the Steelers are rooting for this year. 8-8-1. No matter who's their quarterback.
No, that's not a winning record, right? Or has he just not had a losing record?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's technically not a losing record.
Oh, okay, so he's finished 8-8 before.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's the Steelers are one where I could see DK going for like 150 yards and them still losing. And I'd be proud for DK. I think I've told you this before. I have no ill will towards him at all. I mean, he left because he wanted to get paid more. He could make up all that shit he wants about, oh, I want to go to a place with nicer weather. Oh, I want to go to a place that has a quarterback. He wanted his money, and then we weren't going to give it to him, and that's fine. It's not, I think I've said this before, like Russell Wilson, you wanted to be the star. DK is like, I just want to get paid $30 million a year. And you did, and that's fine. So, yeah, I think that's about it with the schedule. Any other things you find interesting, other than the fact that we play 2 Thursday night games and the Saints don't play a single primetime game this year?
Oh, that's funny. Not really. I mean, of course, the Thursday night selections are tough because short weeks, and
I just don't like. I guess I lied. I like Thursday night better than I like Monday night, because anybody can show up to work on Friday hungover, make it through the day. Showing up on a Tuesday and then going, oh shit, I could have come back on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I don't personally have those problems, so I guess I'm not in that mind space, but I see where you're coming from.
Me and my friend have said that before. I don't get freaking blacked out every game, but or like hopefully I don't get blacked out ever in my life. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just the thought of just waking up and being like after, especially, the home ones, especially the Thursday night home games. It's like waking up and you're like, okay, just make it through this one day, and then it's the weekend again because you get no sleep. I mean, I can't even imagine living on the East Coast and going to a Thursday night game or a Monday night game and getting home at like 2 a.m. But yeah, just Monday you're like, oh man, tomorrow's Tuesday.
So you're a fan that likes to travel every now and again. Is there any away game that you're like, I could probably go there?
That I would want to go to, because I'm not going to go to a single away game.
Yeah.
Where would I like to go? Or
yeah.
Okay, where would I like to go is Pittsburgh. I want to go to Heinz Field or whatever, Acrisure Stadium. I like that place. I want to hear Renegade in person. That'd be kind of sick. That I'm going to go to an away game in Arizona because tickets are super cheap and flights are super cheap. So for me, at least, how about you? What's one? Are you going to go to the Steelers game?
Well, they're all away from me, buddy.
No, I was going to ask, are you going to try to make it to the Steelers game?
I talked about this today with my wife, and she's like, well, would you want to go? And I'm like, well, yeah, like I would love to go. It just, I don't know if, like, we have 2 kids and so we'd have to have sitters, and then, being a preacher, I tend to work on Sundays. So, we'd have to figure that out with my work schedule. Cause I have on my calendar already a couple Sundays that I'm not going to be at church. And then I pocket a couple other Sundays just in case if I get sick. And like, do I roll the dice and torch one of those to finally, for the first time in my life, watch the Seahawks play in person? Like,
you've never done it?
Never. What opportunities would I have other than New York, Pittsburgh, and
2019 we played at Pittsburgh. That's the last time I can think. Played in Philadelphia, but you said you wouldn't want to go to Philadelphia.
That scares me. Ugh. Yeah,
I would love to go to an Eagles game as an Eagles fan. I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love, because that's what I mean. Like when I went to the Packers game, I wore a Seahawks hat, but I wore like an old Favre jersey. Not a fan of him as a football player, the human. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I'm really into his charitable work.
Yeah. So, but no, it was kind of cool just going, just being kind of one of them. I mean, every now and then one of them would be like, what the fuck's up with your hat? And I'm like, oh man, I actually have season tickets for the Seahawks. I go to every game. Like, oh no shit, that's pretty cool. But I'd love to blend in as an Eagles fan for a Sunday and just like throw batteries at Santa and like, my coworker, he goes, dude, my sister lives in Philly and she got arrested at an Eagles game for being too rowdy. And I go, oh, that's wild. And he goes, can you believe that? She was at an Eagles game and she stood out for being rowdy. I was like, yeah I guess you're right.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you think you should do it? Do it.
I'd love to. We'll see if we have the means and if we're able to go. That would be like a bucket list thing for me checked off. So we'll see.
Well, don't do that. Then that means you can die after you do that. So
I got other bucket list things.
Oh, okay,
I mean, I'm not a one-trick pony over here, but
don't have that be your only thing. Because I remember when I was a kid, I was like, man, the only thing I want to see the Seahawks win a Super Bowl, and then they win it, and it feels awesome. But then you're like, actually, no, I do want to see some other things. I'm only 16 years old. This can't be it. I'll just say the Mariners win a World Series, and I'll probably live till I'm 200
you'll live forever.
years old. Yeah.
You'll live forever.
I did want to point this out. I wore this shirt for the Seahawks playing the.
There you go.
Playing the 49ers week 1. I wear this every 49ers game. We won a lot in a row for a long time, and then we lost a lot in a row for a long time. So it's a very streaky T-shirt from what I see.
Did you happen to this is the last thing I'll talk about in terms of schedule, but did you happen to see the video for the schedule?
It confused me at first until they showed the very end when they showed the schedule, because I was like, are they gonna like say when we're I was really confused because on the radio they said something about it and they played it and I was like, this doesn't make sense. And then I started watching it. I'm like, no, it still doesn't make sense. And then at the very end, they showed the schedule. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It was pretty funny, like the Lamb thing. And then, I think they made fun of a couple teams. They're nothing like the Chargers. I haven't seen the Chargers one yet. I will watch it eventually. I'm sure it's awesome. Have you seen it?
It's Minecraft. It's pretty good.
They did
the one.
I like when they clown on everybody. That's kind of my thing. Yeah.
Yes. It's pretty nice.
What were you saying? My bad.
So I'm a fan of Tom Grossi, and so they watched the Packers release one.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you want to go on a trip, you need to watch the Packers schedule release video, because if you thought the Seahawks was hard to follow, oh my goodness. The Packers is like, they're on something. And
well, if you watch the Seahawks one and knowing you're not supposed to follow it in chronological order, it's fine. But if you watch it thinking that something's going to be in order and you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the Packers one, because it is.
I'll watch it and text you.
It looks like a Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca trip.
That's my thing. I do ayahuasca trips every now and then, along with my darkness retreats, and it makes me feel one with the universe.
You hippie, flippy Pacific Northwest types. Yeah.
Dude, when he did his ayahuasca or his darkness retreat and he's like, I'm going to Oregon. I'm like, thank God it wasn't up here, dude. It was close. It was really close. I was like, thank God, make fun of Oregon. All right. Let's move on. Next is NFL draft selections. The rest are kind of fillers, because I think I just didn't really I knew we'd be talking about the schedule and kind of the draft the whole time, so we don't have to. These questions can be answered with the draft. Pretty blurry, so let's try to add this. Oh, there we go. That's a little better, but you don't see their names. So let's start with our first selection, which we talked about. Is that Gray's able? I think we're both happy with the selection. I think we both agree that that's probably the biggest position of need. And I think this one was kind of studied a lot before the draft. We all kind of knew about him, and we all knew that he was against lesser competition, but he did shine during the Senior Bowl against higher competition. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. Yeah, I know you are, but is there anything else you want to elaborate before we move on?
I just want to say, Joe, I had so much fun watching round one with you. That was so much fun. Like, I've never done that before, and it was a blast.
Thanks.
Like, seriously, it was so much fun. And this pick was everything I ever dreamed it would be, and all of my hopes and dreams. So made a video about it, and
oh, you did?
Yeah, but yeah. It was the first actual video that Zach Talks Hawks put out there in quite some time, and it was like my frantic reaction over getting Gray Zabel, and it was nice. It was nice.
Did you hear what he said? How he was going to celebrate?
He is he the one that ran out of Bud Light?
A Busch Lights. He's like,
Yeah, Busch
I'm going to
Light.
drink a bunch of Busch Lights. And I'm like, this team is getting so white, dude. I was like, wow. We got
First
Busch.
guy in, last guy out.
Dude, I mean,
that's what I want.
dude, I couldn't
Sneaky
believe
athletic.
it. Yeah, I was like, and then this 7th round guy, I forget his name. Let me see if I can squint my eyes. Mason Richmond. This guy from Iowa. You can't see that I'm circling him with my mouse. I don't know why I thought you could see that. He came on too. He's like, man, I'm gonna celebrate with a bunch of Miller Lights. I mean, these corn-fed
He
white
went
boys.
to Iowa. What more do you expect?
I mean, the other guy was Gray Zabel's a farmer in Nebraska. These corn-fed white boys that we are getting, along with Riley Mills from Notre Dame, I think that's a Mike McDonald type. But really, I'm excited. One thing that's kind of bothering me, we'll move off of the Gray Zabel situation, is Nick Emanwari. I think people are comparing him to Cam Chancellor a little too much. I think he looks, at least from a collegiate level, I think he looks a little bit better in coverage than Cam was coming in as a rookie. And I think he's a little less of an enforcer than Cam was even coming in as a rookie. Your thoughts?
Well, I was real big on him, and I'm so excited he's a Seahawk. And being able to watch a few of his games, I have a good friend from college. He's a big South Carolina fan, so I tend to tune into those games every now and again. And man, his tape. For any college athlete, there's always room to grow, but. Oh, I'm so excited he's a Seahawk. And I think that if Mike McDonald's not the coach, I wouldn't be as high on him than what I am, because Mike McDonald's defense is all about making sure that there's safety help, and they are incredibly active all the time. And this guy's got a high motor. He's built for this kind of defense.
Oh, so for sure.
I'm so excited to see what he's going to turn into. Like, there's not too many picks, I think, that are as high for me in terms of excitement of what he's going to become. As long as McDonald does his job and stays the coach, man, his future's so bright. I do hesitate like you. Let's not compare him.
Well, he's going to be a different role too. Mike McDonald runs 2 deep safeties a lot, and he runs. Kobe Bryant's going to get his snaps as the 3rd safety, because I think Kobe played better than I could ever imagine last year. He's not going to be we're not just running cover 1, cover 3 all the time and going to have Julian Love's not Earl Thomas. Okay. The way you run that defense is if you have Earl Thomas and nobody's Earl Thomas. So, but I think that's good, because I think this guy's going to be like the Kyle Hamilton of this team. And that's fine, but he doesn't need to be. I don't want to see this guy thinking, oh, I got to be Cam Chancellor and just shoulder tackle everybody. I think that was also kind of Jamal Adams' issue, is that he thought he had to be a hard hitter. Don't be a hard hitter, just make a form tackle. That's what we want. And I saw a lot. I mean, he's bigger, but his tackling in college reminded me a lot of Devin Witherspoon. I mean, he is a form tackler, and that made me more happy than seeing him just hard hit every play, I think that is what got me more excited than the hard hits, was his ability to actually wrap up and take down rather than, go for the hard hit every time.
Yep. Totally.
I did like what he said about the 49ers, though. But he's like, oh, man, I love that he hates the 49ers. I love it.
Check.
As a fan, when I heard that, I was like, that's pretty sweet. Next, third round or late second round? What was Arroyo? I don't remember. Second.
I'm pulling him up.
He led the FBS. Either he led the ACC or the FBS in yards per reception. The tight end they got, but he just wasn't very healthy. I'll tell you, I'm kind of excited, but then again, it's like it's a tight end coming to Seattle. Can you really get that excited about it? Any tight end coming to Seattle?
Yeah, it's second round, number 50. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So mid-second rounder.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about him quite a bit actually, because my initial reaction to him wasn't great. His comp is literally Noah Fant. And I'm like, we have Noah Fant, and we don't need another Noah Fant. Like,
hey, it's better than a comp being a Pharaoh Brown.
That's true. So I just don't know. Like, I'm a big AJ Barner like truther, so this gets me worried, and I think he's gonna get buried. So
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be Barner and Arroyo come the end of the year. I really do. I think Fant's gonna kind of get outplayed by those two.
I hope so.
I mean, Barner's a hard worker. Arroyo's an athletic freak. So I'm just kidding. But anyways, let's get to your favorite pick. Third rounder, quarterback. Jalen Milroe. Russell Wilson 2.0.
Shut up.
Super. And I'm not actually saying this being jokingly prejudiced, but he is an athletic. He is freaking athletic.
This is.
His accuracy, not quite there. What's crazy is what I heard about him before the draft is that the weird part is he's more accurate on deep balls than he is short and intermediate passes, which I feel like you can improve on short and intermediate passes a lot more than you can improve on deep ball accuracy. With all my friends, I just joke around and say, oh, it was the coaching. He was great under Saban, because Kalen DeBoer left Washington for Alabama. So I go, oh, it was their head coach, dude. He sucked. I don't know. I'm excited. I love to see him in the preseason.
Quarterback, any quarterback conversation for this team is just terrible. But
yeah, I said that when we signed Matt Flynn, dude. I was pissed off.
I like. Okay, so this is where I'm trusting our head coach, because he went through this in Baltimore. He was there when he had a pocket passing quarterback and a athletic freak young backup, and that staff knew when and where to put Lamar Jackson in his first year to just get some decent field time and not put everything on his shoulders all at once. And I think if that's the play, then we're going to be okay. And Sam Darnold's got to hold down the fort, dude. Like,
that's one thing I'm nervous for. I'm nervous for Sam Darnold struggling and people calling for Milroe when he's not ready. But look, if best case scenario, honestly, and I don't want to see him play right away, but best case scenario, is you have the Russell Wilson situation.
I know. I really don't want to do that again, but
I
yeah.
mean, dude, I was wrong. I was dead wrong, and I'll say it all the time. I go, what are you doing starting this 5'10" quarterback when you have Matt Flynn? You're paying him $10 million a year, which is basically the same thing we're going through now. Jalen Milroe, not quite the college success that Russell Wilson had, but he definitely has more traits than Russell Wilson had. As far as athleticism wise, I don't know about decision making. I mean, I watched them score 0 points against Oklahoma last year, and I celebrated. I did. I watched them score precisely none against Oklahoma. So, what? So you want him starting week 1? You say, and if Sam's
no, I don't. No, I just please, Sam Darnold, just be serviceable enough to keep the crazy fans at bay, and
they're going to be there no matter what. You know that.
I
mean,
know,
unless this
keep
team
them at bay.
Unless this team wins 13 games this year with Sam Darnold.
You're only 2 away from that. What are you talking about?
I am 2 away. I am 2 away from that. But, you know, a solid 13 games. I think this fan base, as soon as that's one thing that I worry about, because I saw it last year with people going, put Howell in there. And I was telling them, they go, Howell's faster than Geno Smith. And I go, no, he's not. He's literally
in what
not.
Universe? Yeah.
I go, just because he runs more doesn't mean he's faster than Geno Smith. Just because he threw more interceptions than anybody else last year doesn't mean he's going to throw less than Geno Smith. I mean, I think quarterback is the most important position on the team, but I also think it's the most overrated position on the team when it comes to people calling for a change. I think a lot of the time people, and the Seahawks don't do this, and thank God they don't. They fall into fan pressure, right? I think a lot of organizations fall into fan pressure when it comes to starting a young quarterback, and they ruin their careers. A lot of them ruin their careers.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, what would Mahomes be if he didn't sit a whole year behind Alex Smith? I think he'd be good. I don't think he'd be the best quarterback in the NFL. If Mahomes would have went to the Chicago Bears, I definitely don't think he'd be what we're talking about today.
For sure.
Yeah, so Riley Mills next, captain of Notre Dame, and I only knew that because I just saw this photo where he has a C on his chest. I'll act like I knew that before. He's another one I'm excited for, just interior defensive lineman. Obviously didn't play any conference of football, but he fared well against the Big Ten in the college football playoff. I think the USC, they definitely played USC. They play USC every year. This one I'm kind of excited for, kind of a run stopper.
I mean, any defensive line member this year for the Seahawks, I'm excited for. I think that this, if you wind up doing it right and it's heavy rotation, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Last guy, we got that quick receiver out of Colorado State. Haven't really done much research on it, if I'm being completely honest. I could tell you about Torrey Horton a lot, but I can't. So if you got anything.
His comp is actually if forgive me if I'm saying his name. It's Torrey Holt from yesteryear for the Rams.
So Torrey Horton.
Yeah.
Is
so that's his comp, and
a Hall of Fame receiver.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he's. I mean, I saw an interview he did with the press, and they asked him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, obviously, like I model a lot of my game after him," and Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And 5th round selection, this is exactly what we talked about in terms of our hopes and dreams for wide receiver help. Like, it's a very deep class. You can just go get somebody, and he fixes the wide receiver room. So as it sits, right, you just need a third guy to take some pressure off, and I think he'll play really well. I really do. So I'm excited to see what he does in preseason.
Did you say third guy to take pressure off?
Well, a third guy. I'm not putting him on the depth chart, but
Okay,
yeah.
good. Because Jake Bobo ain't going nowhere, according to my wife.
Yeah. So.
Dude, I was joking with her. I'm like, dude, they traded Bobo. She's like, I'm done. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, okay, that was a real make or break. She was okay with them trading DK. She was a little pissed off, and I joked around with her and told her they traded Bobo. She's like, dude, I can't even watch next year because he played so much.
I do love me some Jake Bobo, but yeah.
only in certain times, like a third down when you don't expect him to be on the field. My favorite draft selection, a lot of people gave this an F. Robbie Oots. We got ourselves a fullback.
The fullback is back, baby. Yeah, a real fullback.
You guys, I've been talking about this for years now. And by years, I mean since the last time Will Tukawafu took a snap for the Seattle Seahawks, because I think he was the last fullback the Seahawks had. I love the I formation. I hope we run some power plays this year.
Me too.
I hope Robbie Oots is the answer. Other than that, Damian Martinez, the running back from Miami. People are really high on him. Obviously, I'm not, because I saw how the last 2 running backs from Miami went. People were texting our fantasy football group chat. They're like, dude, Damian Martinez is about to be a dog. And I go, DJ Dallas too, ? Because, I mean, he kind of looks like him. And I just said DJ Dallas / Travis Homer 2.0.
Just don't give me headaches when you fumble kickoffs. That's all I ask for. He'll probably be the kickoff dude. So.
Yep. That's about it. Ricky White, wide receiver from UNLV. Don't know much about him. And then guard. A guard.
Mason Richmond.
No, we talked about him. That's the Iowa guy.
The other Iowa guy.
Cabeldo. I don't even know where he went. I like to pretend I'm an expert. No, I'm kidding. I'm not an expert when it comes to this draft stuff. But yeah, last thing, I guess. Do you think they did enough with the O-line, and who will be your breakout player of the year?
No. No. And
no.
Look, I was very blunt about this team, and you had 3 positions of need, and you have filled one of them, and both guards and the center. So it looks like Ulu is going to be our ride and die guy. And Olu. Don't matter.
Olu with Timmy. Ulu. I
don't
know.
I wish they would have addressed 2 out of the 3, and they didn't. So it's you hope that the coaching, right, and the change of philosophy really changes how this offensive line plays. But I mean, we've talked about it here, and you've seen them in person. Even if this team winds up being a run, like a true run first team, like a true even best case scenario, like I formation power football team, you saw it in person where the lanes just aren't there, and they get overpowered in the interior line over and over again. Gray Zabel's just one guy. So I hope I'm wrong. But I do think it's still going to be that'll be the narrative this year for this team. So the breakout, it's kind of hard to say, just because, like, especially offensively, I'm not quite sure. We know what direction we're really going yet in terms of, like, theoretically we have this new offensive coordinator and theoretically we know where he's going to go, but do we have the pieces to make that happen? I don't know. So I think my breakout's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. I and this goes counterintuitive to pretty much everything I've clamored about on the show today about our defensive line. But I do think that this is going to be a big year for Murphy on the
Me
on the
too.
defensive
That's
front.
right. That's why I put that question in there, dude. I'm gonna be honest with Nick on here. I have not looked at a lot of UDFAs other than the people that they invited from UW to minicamp.
6'7". Holy moly.
I saw that he's 6'7" and ran a 4.340, but he wasn't drafted, and that's kind of maybe
I'm
keep an eye. Maybe
I'm
keep an eye.
Googling him
I
right
did.
now.
I did. He's from Arkansas. I did while we were looking.
That's where I know him. He's a Razorback. Yes, I know him. Yes,
Do you
I
actually?
do. Arkansas is one of my 3 teams that I consistently follow. And I looked at the name and was like, how do I know this guy? But yeah, I do.
6'7", 200. Looks like he should be playing basketball with. I mean, it's a pretty small frame for wing.
Yes, I remember him. Oh, I didn't even know we got him. That's cool. You're gonna love him. And
No,
yes,
he's probably not making the team.
Well, so I think, oh man, that is cool, dude. Oh, thank you, Nick, for sharing this, because I am pumped out of my mind right now. This is awesome. Look, he's got great straight line speed. He's kind of got the same problems that DK had coming out of college, like not a real crisp route runner, but can just beat you on the outside. Great 50-50 ball guy, but like his deficiency is more, like, obviously, right? He's undrafted. It's more so in the route tree. And man, I think if you're patient with this guy, he could be awesome. He could be awesome. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we got him. That's cool. Oh man, I can't wait for you to see him play.
I never heard his name till Nick B shouted him out, because I'm going to be honest, when it comes to the undrafted free agents, I saw the Huskies that they invited to rookie minicamp, which was like Will Rogers, the quarterback, and Alfonso Tupatala, but the linebacker. But I mean, it's a bunch of names of guys that probably aren't going to be there come August even. So if you guys are saying this guy's a guy to watch out for, we will.
I'm pulling up some other stuff. Give me a second. Oh man, so cool. So like he was in Bowling Green for a little while, and then he transferred over. Let me. Come on. Oh, this page is weird. And like he could be a like special teams guy, like right away. And it wasn't like he never ever like jumped out of the book in terms of or jumped out of the page in terms of like he's putting up great numbers or anything, obviously, because he's undrafted, right? But like the eye test of watching him I really enjoyed him. So I will be very curious to see if he makes the team. That will be cool. See you,
Yeah.
Jake Bobo. You're getting replaced. Sorry.
Yeah. My wife's gonna become a New England Patriots fan or Packers. That seems like the next place he'd go.
Yeah, maybe.
They tend to like their white receivers. So, all right. Well, sorry I didn't know anything about Nick Broden. We'll look him up, or Broden. But yeah, I don't know. What do you have going on next? There's really not a whole lot going on for really about 2 months. So
Yeah, I mean, probably teaming up with you at one point.
we'll
Beating you
do
at
this
college
show in 2
football.
weeks, obviously. I mean, if you're cool with it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I mean, we could probably do a live stream, and I could beat you on college football. So that could be an idea.
Oh yeah, college football 25. Nah, dude. No. I've been more of an MLB The Show guy lately, anyways. So
I've seen, and
Oh,
I also play the show. So
you probably kicked the crap out of me on that, to be honest. Dude, I just play Road to the Show.
Yep.
I have like almost 700 home runs. I'm chasing Barry's record in like 4 years because I play on rookie, dude.
same.
Yeah, they throw me strikes every time, and a lot of times I press B for contact swing. So I'm like, man, I'm hitting too many dingers this series. I need to
need to tone it down a bit.
Yeah, anyways. Joe Stevens, number 39, a pitcher and designated hitter for the Seattle Mariners. That's me.
Yeah. I'm with the Cardinals right now. So I play left field. So
Oh, you're not a pitcher, dude. So last year I made the mistake of I don't know why this is on our podcast right now, but nobody's watching, so it's fine. I was last year I made the mistake of being shortstop, and I was like, dude, I want to pitch too, but I couldn't like add me as a pitcher during middle of the game, so I was like, I'm definitely being better than Shohei Ohtani. I broke Nolan Ryan's strikeout record per season and Barry Bonds' home run record. So kind of sweet. I'm kind of a big deal.
yeah.
How about you? Any records you've been breaking?
I broke Ichiro's hit record. That
Good. He didn't deserve it anyways, dude.
Ooh.
I can't stand Ichiro.
Are we not gonna be friends after this show? Oh no.
I mean, look at the hat, dude. I'm a Mariners fan. I'm not an Ichiro fan.
Oh, my heart. Oh no.
How many infield singles? How many infield singles with 2 outs can this guy hit?
It is his thing. And
his thing was he always said, everybody goes, Ichiro could hit home runs if he wanted to. Okay, why didn't he? Oh, well, his batting average wouldn't be as good. I don't care. Those teams lost. The Mariners were the first ever team, and I'm not kidding you. Look this up. In 2008, the Mariners were the first ever team to have $100 million payroll and 100 losses in a season. And I was naming the other day, me and my friend were naming like old Mariners. Like, we're like, dude, Raul Ibanez, Franklin Gutierrez, Jose Lopez, Adrian Beltre, Casey Kochman, Tuiasosopo played. Matt Tuiasosopo's brother. So Marcus, or I don't remember. It was the opposite of the guy that played. Yeah, so Marcus played for UW. But anyways, we're naming all these players, and I was like, oh shit, Ichiro played for those teams. I mean, he just wasn't even a guy because he never connected with the city. I think that was a big thing. He never connected with the city like even Felix did. Like Felix was a Seattle guy. Just Ichiro never connected. He never did interviews in English. That was just, like I said, it's easy to root for him from afar. But that'd be like Marshawn Lynch not doing his beast mode stuff in Seattle and stuff like that. I don't know. Like the all-star of the team not really wanting, and I know he still comes back and does stuff with the Mariners, but it's not the same as Griffey, dude. It's not the same. And Griffey forced his way out of here. That was kind of a rant, but go ahead. What do you got? What do you got about
nothing.
Ichiro?
I got nothing. Nope, I can't. Oh,
Ichiro.
I love him.
Why? I mean, I can see why people like him. I get it. He was really good, but he wasn't my cup of tea.
The man slept and breathed baseball. Like his oh man. We might have to make a whole new channel just to talk about the Mariners.
He was shit.
Oh
He
my
was
gosh.
Dude, he was Shohei, but not as good at the game of baseball.
Oh wow.
I just name some other Mariners you like other than Ichiro.
Remember? Okay, so this is a Mariner that, man, I can't believe we're talking about the Mariners right now. But anyway,
It's fine. I watched them today lose, so it's cool.
There's one Mariner that I look back now in hindsight, and I'm like, I rooted for him to become like the next big thing in baseball.
Can I guess who it is?
So hard because he was so hyped. I bet you know who he is. Who is he?
Yeah, it's Dustin Ackley, dude.
It's Dustin Ackley.
Obviously.
It's like there was so much hype, and I put all of my being into this one guy. And he did nothing. He did nothing.
Yeah, no, and then there's players like freaking, I don't know, the Mariners piss me off. So I do this thing every year. I told you. So I always talk shit about the Mariners. I still do. I'm a huge Mariners fan up until about training camp. And then I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I cannot watch them lose and lose and lose. But so far I've watched at least 2 innings of every game this year. I went to 2 games. They won both. This team's exciting this year, that's for sure. It's not what anybody expected because all their pitching's out. But yeah, Dustin Ackley, that was
what a crazy time.
I was for Dustin Ackley, or I was for Jared Kelenic, like a lot of people were for Dustin Ackley. I don't know. That was a weird time because those teams were so bad, and the Mariners now have an awesome pitching staff. The Mariners then had Felix, and that was it. It's like, is Felix pitching? Okay, cool. He's gonna pitch 6 in the 3rd inning, give up 1 run on 2 hits, and they're still gonna lose 1-0. That was Felix Hernandez's career.
Yeah.
But anyways, enough baseball talk. I think we're done here. Yeah, anything you got going on the channel, or is it pretty just iRacing?
Yeah, I'm pretty busy with just iRacing stuff right now. I mean, I got a Monday night league I race in, a Friday night league I race in, and then Tuesday night league right now that I'm broadcasting. So
kicking ass, I heard.
Well, yeah.
This guy won. For everybody that's gonna watch this or has watched or is watching, this guy won last night.
Last Friday.
But, Friday is when you won.
Yeah. So
how'd you do last night?
I had a top 10 car and I got wrecked on the last lap. So
dude,
yeah.
You need to go Kyle Busch on those guys. I'm telling you, because I watched this highlight in the other day. I was like, Kyle, please stop. Because you saw that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's like flipping off the he's like, I was going 1 over, and then he's like in pit row, and he's like flipping the guys off. They're calling you in for unsportsmanlike conduct, and he goes,
"That's against my constitutional rights."
Yeah, and then the crew chief, Kyle, please stop.
That's in the documentary I told you about.
Oh, really? That wasn't like recently?
Oh no, it's not recent, but like this documentary is about the persona of Kyle Busch, like as Rowdy. And so it's all
He's
that
the
it's
man.
all that crap that you love. And so yeah, I highly recommend it. It's really good.
All right, I'm gonna go watch that. Thank you, everybody. I think we're gonna end the stream. Sorry for being on so late.